I still don't get it, but I don't want to
Yeah,
ask
I
again.
feel like
so I'm just going
that
to
needed
pick.
to be explained properly before we picked games.
Yeah,
but it's
yeah.
fine.
So I'm just going to go.
Explain this I don't know how many times.
Nah, but
You said we could drop games at any time.
What parts
and now
confused
that's
you?
changing rapidly. But
It's all right. Nah, it's fine. Just none of you become teachers is all I'm going to say.
Hello and welcome to the Press Start podcast, Press Start Australia's weekly video game discussion podcast. I'm your host, Ewan, joined today by my fellow gamers and co-hosts, Shannon,
Hello.
James,
Hello.
and Brody.
Hello.
Today on the show, we're going to be setting up our Fantasy Critic tournament, which I'm very excited about. Not something we've ever done before, and definitely taking a leaf out of Kind of Funny's book, but that time will come. We need to first discuss the official reveal of the Nintendo Switch 2. Obviously, we theorized, or were like reasonably well informed at that point in time last week that this was going to happen. Had hoped to schedule a bonus episode in over the weekend, but truthfully, time totally got away from me. So here we are today. Shannon, the leaks were about spot on. What did you make of the design and I guess the manner in which it was revealed?
Yeah, I guess the design was pretty much as we expected. Literally, can't think of anything that was surprising. Thinking back, yeah, I think the way it was revealed, it was probably kind of worst case scenario and what we theorized, like with except the exception of Mario Kart, which I know we'll talk about. But from a hardware point of view, I think it was pretty much fine for like October, September. I think it shocked me that that's what happened at this point in the year, and then I was excited when I saw that the next direct was happening in Feb, but then I realized it's April, so it did feel a little bit
Apologies.
I don't want to say nothing because it's like obviously still really exciting, but in terms of like what we knew, it didn't really give us any new information, but it's just great that we can talk about it now and it's a thing.
Yeah, it's great that it's finally out there and we don't have to keep reporting on leaks anymore. Another reveal in the trailer was the new Mario Kart game mentioned, which you there. James, I kind of got the sense that it was like a separate trailer they kind of stitched on to the reveal of the Switch they kind of otherwise had planned. Did you have much of a sense as to kind of the nature of the announcement, and are you excited for a new Mario Kart game?
I didn't really feel it was stitched on. I just thought they maybe wanted to show something about games and maybe wanted people to keep buying Switch games or Donkey Kong. It seems they just seem to be tweeting about that nonstop now. Like, but in terms of Mario Kart for me, like it's like the one like Nintendo game I just don't like. I think it's still I'm not good at it, but yeah, like it doesn't really excite me heaps. I don't like the new Donkey Kong look, but that's about all I can really comment on from what I've seen.
Yeah,
I think overall, like this reveal would have been really cool if we hadn't seen all of the other shit trickle out over the past like 4 months. Like I think this would have been a cool, nice little surprise. And I'm not like saying people shouldn't cover it or anything like that, but I just think it would have just been cool if we saw this like fresh, right?
In saying that, imagine there were no leaks and like that's all we got. I feel like we wouldn't know anything about it in terms of like the screen size or like the joy. Like I know that might be a mystery, but for me that would be more annoying. I think. But I think I thought about it.
But when you say like that's all we got, like I think it's what it was always going to be, right? Like it was never going to be this like crazy like overhaul.
I mean, it could have just like detailed the screen size and what it was. Like it could have still been about hardware and actually given some kind of information at all.
I think, I think a lot of the exciting stuff is to come in the direct. I noticed that obviously that extra button was blank in the reveal, so that means something. Yeah. They teased a little bit about the new Joy-Cons in this trailer. We don't really know.
Yeah, I was going to ask about that. Did you think like the kind of shot in which they're kind of sliding across the table on their side with confirmation there's going to be like a way to use those as a mouse? Yeah.
So part of me thinks so. But then I also think it's kind of... I don't know if this is right, but I do feel like a lot of people use their Switch portably, right? And I...
Pretty much exclusively for me.
Yeah, I'm exclusively TV, but I know that I'm in the minority there. But I do feel like it's not very Nintendo-like to almost assume people are playing like on a desk or some kind of solid surface. Like it's not quite as I guess, intuitive as they normally are. So I think that might be a thing. Like I imagine all the Fortnite kiddies will be excited to be able to play with the mouse and keyboard without having to buy a mouse and keyboard on this Switch. But yeah, I just want to know more. I'm a little bit. I kind of wish that the direct was February and then we got nothing till June. I'd rather it be like kind of front loaded with like info and games, and I could be a bit more excited, because right now it is a little bit like, oh, okay, cool. But now I want to see. I still want to see more. I don't really feel sated in any way. So
we've known this for ages, but like it does. I wonder why they went so much bigger, because I don't really feel like anyone was asking for like a much bigger handheld, like if it was because of the Joy-Cons or what, but I just feel like it's
more in line
meaty,
with the kind of handheld PCs that are hitting the
market. Yeah, but I feel like
right?
that's a different person. Like if you're buying a Steam Deck, like you're getting a big piece of tech.
But is it just like an engineering thing? Like if they want better quality or better, more powerful components and a better battery life, they just need to physically make it bigger?
Probably. Yeah. But it's just big.
I'm a fan of it. I find it a bit small and
like I like it, but I just think a lot of people aren't going to realize how much bigger it is until it's there. Yeah, in front of them.
The Switch isn't really pocketable as it is at the moment. Like it still takes up a decent amount of room in here. Yeah, with really deep pockets. So I don't see it really kind of changing the game too much. For one, I'm excited about having just something hopefully a bit more kind of solid to hold on to. And I'm really excited about the new way the Joy-Cons connect as well. Granted, we already kind of knew a fair amount of information about that in the lead up to this, but I'm excited
looks kind of it looks like it.
You
could
mean
be a
like the little
point.
kind of filament bit coming out the middle?
I'm surprised that's exposed, but I'm sure they've done their testing.
Yeah, I noticed that as well. I was worried that might be a bit flimsy. Brody, what about yourself? What did you make of the Switch 2 reveal? Do you see yourself getting one of these?
Yeah, I think so. Like, I want to say yes. I'll wait to see where like software lands, I suppose. Like, if there's nothing exclusive up front that I'm that excited about, I might wait till like an inevitable OLED model, because I assume this is still LCD.
I really hope that's not true, but yeah.
Yeah, so look, it'll come down to the software ultimately, but I've still got one of the OG Switches that's, still doing well enough. So, yeah, and I'm not a huge Switch player as it is, but I'm prepared to be this generation. I'm prepared to adopt and get on board.
Yeah. I've found myself playing the Switch more later in the generation. Never got an OLED upgrade myself, so I'll be keen to jump over to this one. I do hope it has the nicer screen, but I guess we'll have to see. And I'm pleased that it's getting exclusive games as well. Like, it feels like a proper, like it's earned the 2 title, although it's still backwards compatible.
Yeah. I kind of hope
caveats there are with that, but
I hope that is a thing though. Like, I do hope that there is, say,
exclusive
Mario
games.
Kart 9 is Switch 2 only, and
there's not like a port
uses
for
that
original
extra,
SKU.
Yeah, I just hope it's. I don't think they're going to. I think because there's just such a big install base. The Switch 1, I'm scared there'll be a lot of cross-gen.
I think it'll be like the new 24 races will be Switch 2 exclusive, or it'll have some kind of Switch 2 exclusive.
Or there'll be like a
features.
HD texture pack you've got to download on the Switch 2.
Yeah, well, it's going to look better, and I guess that is the thing. Like, we all know how much games can look better just from like a 4K resolution point of view. So, like, I think the people that want to upgrade will, and those that want to play with blurry screens and low frame rates, like, aren't going to care anyway.
I'd be happy if like the existing games just kind of ran better, both at a higher frame rate and at higher resolution.
Still really interested to see what they do with software though, because it isn't like, what do they make Switch 2 exclusive and what do they not, knowing that they can sell like 30 million units of something.
Yeah. I think like the exclusivity will probably come into like where it's making use of that kind of Joy-Con mouse feature, things like that. I don't think Mario Kart will be exclusive, nor will I think Metroid Prime 4 when that comes out, just because that's been in the conversation for so long.
Yeah.
But it wouldn't surprise me if the next like 3D Mario game we get is Switch 2 exclusive. Maybe the next Zelda, like the next big Zelda, but it's hard to say.
I think Zelda's interesting. I think there'll be a bit of a break for Zelda, like overall, because I think
in terms of new entries.
Yeah, I don't know. I think it'll be a while. Like, I feel like you'll get like Mario Kart, Mario, maybe even Smash quicker. But I think they might take a break for Zelda to try and do something.
Yeah, I agree. I think it'll be a while since we see
fresh.
like a follow-up to like of something Tears of the Kingdoms kind of level.
Which I think is exciting, because that could be a game where if it is just exclusively for 2, that would be a much better product as a result, I think. I think they could really push the physics in a different way.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah, excited to see what that turns out to be. Shannon, a Nintendo Direct is scheduled for April 2nd, not February, as as you would have first thought looking at the American-style dates. What do you expect to see during the Direct?
I feel like it will be like everything revealed. So I think like launch lineup, I think we'll get price and release date. I think it'll be everything. Pre-orders are open, and then I think we will see a release date in June, July-ish, based on the preview events. But I feel like it'll follow the timeline of the original Switch, which was like 2 months from that to announce. So that is exciting. It's just like 4 months, 3 months feels like an age when we've been talking about this for years. Yeah. But it's not. It'll be here quickly.
Yeah, it'll come up quickly. But yeah, it does. It's still a couple months away.
I was trying to think about this. Directs didn't exist when the last Switch reveal happened, or did they? They did exist. Yeah, they did. Okay, but they didn't do a Direct for it. So this will be like presumably like the first time they reveal a console in like a pre-recorded way. So I'm excited. I hope it's like an hour-long blowout and they go into absolutely everything.
Yeah, I reckon they'll do a deep dive and like all the software and the quirks of the console as well. Speaking of which, actually, do you think the kind of mouse mode and maybe like the cast button, which is that extra unknown button is at the moment is rumored to be, do you think that kind of warrants enough of a gimmick for your prediction to land, Shannon?
I think any second screen functionality, and I'm a winner. And then I want it retroactively applied to last year as well.
I'm not making any promises there. If you're keen to go hands-on with the Nintendo Switch 2 ahead of its release, there will be an event in Melbourne as well, which is at, where is it again, Shannon? It's like near
the Rod
the
Laver
Center,
precinct,
right? Yeah. So yeah, once the Oz Open clears out, Nintendo moves in. Registration for the event closes Jan 26th at 11:59 p.m. So get in quick, and you can find all the links for that over on the website. But now I think it's time for Fantasy Critic. So Brody, do you want to maybe like introduce this for everyone and do your best to describe it? You're the kind of ringleader for organizing this, so look, I want to hear why you decided
regretfully
we do this.
I don't know. I was just looking for something that I could potentially beat James in, because I can never beat him at What the Wiki, so this seemed like another thing that we could add to our bow. Yeah, obviously being a big kind of funny consumer, I straight ripped this idea off them. They do this every year, so basically, I guess the basic pitch is we each make our own publisher. We draft a selection of games. I believe we're doing, 6 today, 6 throughout the year, 12 games total. The way it works is, you obviously draft 6 now, and then you can bid on games throughout the year depending on what's announced or what goes undrafted, etc., etc. Once we pick our games, and there are sort of caveats to what you can and can't pick, like we've banned like ports and partial remakes and things that are already out in early access, things like that. Once you sort of draft that list, we can establish counter picks, which basically serves as, let's say Shannon says, hey, I think a new Ape Escape game is going to come out this year, and I'm like, no, bingo, I'm going to counter pick that. That basically, so if that doesn't end up announcing or coming out at all, that's basically like net neutral for me. So a counter pick works opposite to regular games. So with regular games, you obviously gain a point for every point past 70 it scores on OpenCritic. Once you get past 90, it's double points after that. Counter picks work the other way. So if Shannon picks Ape Escape and it doesn't come out, that's 0 points for me, which is a good result for a counter pick. If it does come out and it's shit and it scores in the 50s, that's 20 points for me and negative 20 points for Shannon. So it's a little convoluted, and look, I certainly don't know all the ins and outs of it, but that's the basic premise.
You lost me there, but that's fine. Let's just roll with it.
You lost me with Ape Escape's not coming out.
Yeah.
So basically, I guess we'll go through our regular draft first, of which we all have prepared watch lists and things like that, I am sure. And yeah,
Do you think I feel like we need to draft more than 6 games today? I feel like we need to draft 8 today.
we can
And
do
then
whatever you want.
4 pickups throughout the year. Because I just feel like if we do 6 each, there's still going to be like high quality games in the mix. I'm then concerned
I
about
think
what
you'd
my
be
counter picks are
surprised.
going to look like.
I think
reckon?
you'd be surprised. Well,
All right, I'm happy to leave it at 6.
yeah,
Draft
I'm not
6
fussed.
today.
Or we could see how we go. I
Yeah.
don't know, depending on.
Oh well.
Yeah, I don't
Yeah.
know if once we start the draft if we can then elongate it. But
Look, it'll be what it'll be.
Is
If-
the order picked, or are we about to pick
If
it
GTA
now?
6 goes undrafted, then, just bid on it. And so that's the point. We've got $100 in bidding money as well. So, like, every Saturday, if you bid throughout the week, bids get settled on a Saturday. So,
So we have to get together on us every Saturday.
no, it just settles
no,
automatically.
you can do it in your own time.
Do it in
But
your own
there is-
time.
There is work required on
There-
your
there is
part to
homework.
this. Yeah. Getting Shannon and James across this has already been hard enough work
And
as
so-
it is. Let's see how we go.
And so, obviously, we're going to randomize the draft
I
order.
might do that now.
And are we doing a snake draft?
Yes.
Yeah, so basically, it'll go 1 through 4, however it determines, and then we'll work backwards
us,
through
yes.
that. So, 4th will get another pick straight away, basically.
Yeah. Did you? Yeah, you. There we go. Okay, so randomly set order. Whoa, Ewan gets to go first. Yes.
Conveniently,
I didn't
I'm
realize
now
that
4th.
that took. You all saw me do it. I'm sharing my screen right now, so if you're watching the YouTube version of this, you can follow along as well, assuming I've managed to figure that all
Unbelievable.
out in the edit. But you just watched me do that. That
Kiss
was
goodbye all these
entirely
fucking games I
random.
had. All right.
I presumably the snake draft is like enabled by default, right? With this again, it's the first time we're doing this. We're figuring this out on the fly. I don't need to change any settings.
Oh, it's
to
a
do
great
that, right?
question. It is a
If
great
it's
Maybe I need
not,
to
I feel
quickly
like
look
it's
at the
fine.
settings.
Does it?
I don't know. Scrolling down, double checking. Is there anything in here about snake drafts? I feel like that's just enabled by default. I think we're okay. All right. Should we
go.
make a start? All right. Starting the draft. Let's go.
Do we have to do anything?
No. So you just have your games.
some sound.
Ewan's going to draft for us, I believe.
Okay.
Yeah. So actually, where do I add it?
You go to draft game up the top left there, I
Top
think.
left.
This is
draft
this must be
game.
really
Okay.
good for the audio listeners.
We're figuring
really
it out.
riveting.
Okay, so my first, I'm going to pick, unsurprisingly, Grand Theft Auto 6. That's going to be...
It's a risky one.
Do you have any
isn't it?
concerns that it may not come out?
Yeah.
I do.
have concerns it's not
That'd be a
coming
brave
out.
counter pick.
Just there's obviously been some reports, but I've stood by Rockstar like wanting to get this game out, and 2K kind of like factoring it into their financials as well. They've had several opportunities, I think, to kind of walk back or kind of temper people's anticipation, and that they haven't taken it. So I'm optimistic it's come out this year, and the GTA track record is pretty fantastic. So I reckon I'm going to bag a bunch of points from it, but. That's what I'm going to draft.
So should
to
we
begin
now
with.
remove that from our watch list, or just leave it there, or move it to the bottom or something?
I think if you refresh your
just
watch
can't
list,
pick it. It should just be blocked out.
yeah, it might be gone now.
Okay.
Yeah, it's gone.
James, you're up next. What are we drafting?
I still don't really know how this works, but I'm going to go split fiction.
Oh,
Ooh, okay.
interesting.
You reckon it's a shoe-in for a nice high score to you?
It is.
Split
If Shannon
fiction.
and I have a glorious time playing it again. Oh, and
Yeah.
Shannon, I
gonna
don't
be a
think, not that
10.
it's, no, I'm all right, disregard.
Okay.
Oh, we're not introducing our team names either.
Yeah, we should have done that too, huh? I'm Nilpoir Productions, obviously. Throwback to my what the Wiki catchphrase. James, your Silent Thrills. No guess as to what the rationale behind that name is, I guess.
Yeah.
There was a few that we didn't.
Ominous.
Yeah, there was a few that we considered, but we
There
didn't
was
go
a few
with.
we had to, yeah.
Do you think
Brody
Split
wanted
Fiction's
to
going
just,
to review as well as It Takes Two? I guess
Yes.
you're hoping so.
that's what I'm saying. That's how it works.
He's banking on it.
It's his top.
All right, Ape Escape Inc. Shannon, that's you. You're next. What are you picking?
I am going to go with, I feel like it's the safest bet on this list in the untitled Mario Kart game. I feel like
Oh,
there hasn't
which-
been
wait,
many
which-
Mario
oh,
Kart games that have fallen below 90 on Metacritic, and I feel like that Donkey Kong face, it's a 10, baby.
Very good.
Okay, interesting. Untitled Mario Kart Switch 2 game next in there. Brody, that means it's you.
Yep. So I'm Coffin Flop. If you know, you know. I'm gonna draft. Yeah, I'm gonna draft Monster Hunter Wilds. I feel like it's a safe bet. I know they review generally rather well. There's a lot of fanfare around this one, and it's bigger than ever after Monster Hunter World. So, look, it may not be for me, but it's going to do wonders for Coffin Flop. Now, I better get to go again.
It was high up my watch list as well.
I'm surprised it slipped to fourth, to be honest. I thought I was done in the water. That was my first pick anyway, that I wanted.
Okay. Yes,
so
it is snaked, so it's you again,
okay.
Brody.
So I am indeed...
This is a good position for you. I'm jealous for you right now.
Yeah, it's actually not bad.
I'd be next.
I am... is Ghost of Yotei going to come out? That's my question.
I think it is.
I think it is too. So I'm going to draft Ghost of Yotei with my second pick.
You are welcome to that. Nicely done.
You don't think it's coming?
No, I think it's coming. It's just not the game I would have picked from that list.
That's okay.
Oh, fuck. I forget that this is reverse order. I have to wait another 2. God damn it. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Ghost of Yotei, Monster Hunter World for Brody so far. Shannon, we're back to you at Escape Inc. What are you picking?
I feel like this is a guaranteed high 80s.
Untitled 3D Mario platformer.
No, that's a close. Doom the Dark Ages, I think, from what I've seen.
Okay.
It's going to be a good game. They're very confident in it. And so am I.
Doom the Dark Ages. Yeah, I'm also jealous of that pick. Excited for that game. How have Doom games reviewed in the past?
Mid-80s?
High 80s.
Like, or mid-80s?
Mid to late 80s,
okay.
yeah.
It's a good haul of points. James, that means you're up next. We're flying through this.
I actually wanted to do Untitled 3D Mario game.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I reckon that's October, November. That's coming.
Could be. It's no Doom.
And if they don't mention it,
skills on full display,
if they don't mention it in April or June or whatever, then just drop it. Just get rid of it.
So Untitled mainline 3D Mario platformer, we're saying, yeah?
Yeah, that sounds good.
Yeah, it's a strong pick as well. Already people rolling the dice a little bit. This is exciting. Okay, back to me, which is just spot on. Thank you so much. I am going to draft Elden Ring Night Rain.
Yeah, okay, you can have it.
Little game, I think.
I'm not convinced that Elden Ring in multiplayer is going to translate.
Very silly.
A roguelite Elden Ring.
That's a big misstep.
Are you serious? This game's going to review insanely well.
If
you think so.
From Software ever missed?
You're Nilpra Productions, so
it's fitting.
It's literally.
Because I reckon people are going to lap this up. Let's not forget, it's going to be all of the From Software fans that review this game, and they're going to love the game, and they're going to be like,
"It's nothing like my other FromSoft games. 0." That's how it works.
But I mean, like, Armored
it's Metal Gear Survive all over again
from like the mold, and it's not. It's so not.
It is. The original creators aren't even involved. Yeah, no, Yui.
Big
that's your first
money
that's
grab
your first
energy.
Big misstep.
Does this go back to me again?
It'll tell you. Yeah, it's your turn to draft.
So. You need another win.
Oh god, now I'm starting to sweat because definitely some my options here have been taken.
You wanted to draft 8 games because there's so many great games out there.
Yeah, but no. I've got a long list, but it's just like starting to like get
like all the big heavy hitters are.
Oh, hurry up!
Yeah, a fair few of mine have been pinched at this point. Okay, I am going to draft Death Stranding 2.
Oh my god!
Another one that could go either way.
Literally, so risky.
You reckon people? No, you might be right because it would have its audience now.
This up?
And those who enjoyed the first one would review the second one now.
I got it out of my watch list altogether because I was like, nah. I
didn't get it out of mine, but I dropped it out of my top.
Fascinating.
I can't remember what the first Death Stranding got, but I just
low 80s maybe.
It was all over
polarizing.
I'm doubting myself.
Yeah, well,
you're up, James.
You made your choice. I'm going to go with Metroid Prime 4 Beyond.
That's a good pick.
That was my pick.
Was Metacritic or OpenCritic even around the last time a Metroid Prime came out?
Yes, it was, Brody.
Oh, okay. I think that's a fair question.
Was that a... No, I don't... Anyway, it was around.
It was 1985 or something, wasn't it?
Metroid Prime?
Yeah.
Bro. It's like
2007?
2003.
2003. 2007 for the third one, though?
I don't know. That was the shit one. We didn't talk about that.
But that was the last one. Anyway, Ape Escape Inc.
Yes. I was going to go Metroid Prime. I feel like I'm shocked it stayed there for that long. But I will stay on the Nintendo train because I feel like they're going to have a big year.
Wow.
And it is the year of the Kong. So I'm going to say unannounced Donkey Kong platforming game.
Wow.
I feel like we are due.
In the same year as Tropical Freeze.
I actually
not Tropical
think
Freeze.
that we might be
Returns.
getting a 3D Donkey Kong game before a 3D Mario game. That's just my vibe. But we'll see how it shakes out. It's worth the risk.
That's huge.
I think. There's a Kong tweet every 3 hours, so you've got to believe they're building something.
It's every hour if you include all of the Nintendos from around
And
the
you know
world.
they want to make him a feature of the next film as well, right? So
yeah.
I'm feeling
He's
pretty
coming.
dynamic with these next two picks, if I'm being honest. I'm pretty happy. I'm just not sure if one's coming out. Not sure if one of them's
Positive
coming out.
dynamic or
punch
negative
hits
dynamic?
very well.
So
Let's
my first
hear it,
pick I'm going to
Bree.
take is Metal Gear Solid Delta, Snake Eater.
Nice.
Happy with that.
Okay, cool.
And then this one I'm just not sure. Is it coming out? Maybe I'll save it because I don't think it's on the front of people's minds. I'm going to go Like a Dragon, Pirate Yakuza in Hawaii.
Ooh. Oh, it's there.
Yeah, because
Hang on. Yeah, adding it in.
yeah.
Okay,
It's
good
getting
picks.
hard.
Have you played a Like a Dragon game before, Brody? Are you a fan of them?
I haven't played a
No.
Metal Gear Solid. I haven't played a
just-
Monster Hunter. I know. I
You just
played,
know people like
and I played 15 minutes of Ghost of Tsushima, so I am really out of my depth here.
Okay, this is shaping up nicely. Shannon, we're back to you.
Yep. This is, I don't know, it might be risky, but I feel like it is the time for
Ape Escape.
Hollow Knight Silk Song.
Fuck.
I feel like if that doesn't come out this year, it's never coming out, so it's worth
Valid.
the risk.
Valid.
Yeah. Yeah, I wanted to pick that one. I reckon this is the year. It just feels right with the Switch 2 coming about. One of my predictions for the year was obviously that it was going to be on the Switch by the end of the year. So, yeah, good pick.
Big.
James? A few sitting here that Assassin's Creed Shadows, maybe? Could I tempt you with that?
No, I don't. Shut up. Let's go. Let's go for a bit of nostalgia, and I'm gonna go. Oh, no, actually, no, I'm not gonna do that. This is hard. All of mine have been taken. I'll go. Maybe like some like Povo game that only like 3 people will review, and it will get like 99 as a result.
Not
Do
a
that.
bad
Do
strat,
that.
I guess.
Like,
The Bellatra of next year, of this year, if you will.
yeah,
yeah, if
no,
you know
that-
something that we don't.
I don't know
not,
anything.
Don't pick
the
a game
moment.
that you're reviewing.
No, I know. Well, yeah. Anyway, let's just go with. I'm just gonna. This is just. I'm in YOLO territory now. So let's go with Claire Obscure Expedition 33.
Ooh.
Not concerned about it being a small team. First game.
Doesn't matter.
On Xbox.
I mean, it does
It's
sort
on
of matter,
everything.
doesn't it?
God, okay, I've got to pick 2 games at this point in time. I'm excited for Claire Obscure. I'm
I'm excited to
nervous
see it
about
in a few
but-
days at the Developer Direct.
Yes, thanks.
Yeah, true.
Watch now
okay.
on
Plug. Give them their moment.
Where am I at? Okay, I think here I'm gonna pick Pokemon Legends. Is that
with
a-
the year off, you reckon?
Yeah, I think the
Running
year
at
off's gonna
about
help it.
15 FPS.
Pokemon games typically do well, right?
Ewan's list is looking
25 on
dangerous
Switch 2.
Wait, what? How much?
25 frames on Switch 2. Is what I
Oh.
said.
They don't. I mean, they don't give points for frames, right? So I think it'll
Oh,
be
well.
okay. And then my next game. How many even more? I'm gonna have one more pick after this. Okay. Sorry, I'm very much talking through this because there's a lot going on in my head right now about which.
Remind me, is it 8 above 90 is what?
Double
2
points.
You get double
Yeah.
points for above 90. The points above.
And
90,
it's above
yeah.
80, the other one.
Above 70, you start getting points. Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
So if something gets 92, you'll get 24 points.
Can we change these at any point?
You can drop games. You can drop games.
Okay.
Yeah.
I
But I
think
can't add games.
you can bid for games. You can't just switch them out. And I think you can only drop. You get one free drop, I think, and then you can only drop games if they get delayed out of the year, like categorically, or if they're not. Yeah, but I think that's the rules. We'll double check. I'll come back to you.
Here I think I'm gonna pick Avowed. It's starting to get a little dicier. I'm a little.
I think it's going to speak to the
worried about
nerds.
this one.
I think it's going to speak to the nerds.
I think
I
it'll
just
be decent.
Feel like there's
I think
an
it's gonna get-
appetite for Avowed. Yeah. I don't know. I just got a positive feeling about it, but I am a little bit nervous, I think. Maybe because it's an Xbox game, right, Shannon?
Yeah.
All right, James, so back to you. Your second to last pick for the draft. It's getting tricky.
Like it's all
I'm glad
shit
we
now.
didn't do 8.
No,
already.
it's all
You were
slop.
right.
It's all real slop. Real bottom of the barrel. Nah, I'm going to go... I'm just going to go Shadows.
Ooh, okay.
Yeah.
It's a safer bet than most that have been picked.
I don't
just
know.
keep in
I'm
my
really
head thinking
concerned
about,
the
like-
game at this point in time.
It's
Yeah,
like
like-
normal people reviewing it, not the internet.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like I keep
Yeah.
thinking about
Yeah,
the
yeah,
internet's
yeah.
response, but then I think about like the...
It's critics.
People
it's critics
who actually
that
played
we're
the game.
anticipating Here. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, Assassin's Creed Shadows locked in. You're up, Shannon.
It's a tricky list now. I'm gonna go Mafia: The Old Country. I feel like those games
Okay.
have been good. I feel like it's more likely to come out than GTA, and I feel like it is going to be a good game.
It certainly looks pretty promising based on what we've seen so far. I think it's like more excitement with this one than I can remember there being previous Mafia entries, but it's never really been a series I paid all that much attention to, truthfully.
You will this year.
Brody, back to you.
Yeah, we're getting there now.
You're picking your final 2 here.
Yeah, let me just quickly do a quick goog,
A quick goog.
just to see what something else
Everyone,
did.
quick reset.
Well, I'm just picking a franchise game, so I'm trying to see how it went last time. Okay, I'm pretty comfortable with that. I'm going to pick for my penultimate pick, Sid Meier's Civilization 7.
Yeah, it's a good pick.
Yeah, I think it's a clever pick. It's a smart pick.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
randoms won't review it.
That's right. It's only going to be the sweaties who love the RTSs.
It's already, I've played the first...
My worry that something
12.
like something untoward, like the SimCity situation or whatever, happens to Civ 6 or Civ 7. Sorry, there's like.
I mean, that was like post-launch though, so that
How
doesn't
do you
matter.
how do you plan for that? How do you plan for that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then I'm between two. I'm between two that I don't know are going to come out this year. So I'm just going to go with it's been in development for so long. It should come out. It's a real Hollow Knight situation, this one. I'm going to say Earthblade. And
Earthblade.
that's the new game from the
Yeah.
Celeste people.
Yeah, it's a good pick.
Mm.
It was kind of one of the ones I was hoping to sneakily pick up throughout the year when no one was paying attention.
I'm a bit upset because there's one I've left on the table that I really want, but I may draft it this weekend. I might bid on it.
Yeah, there might be a flurry of bids after the fact here. All right, Shannon, your final game that you're drafting in Press
My
Start's
final
inaugural
one
Final
that I
Fantasy Critic
feel
draft.
Did you say Final
confident
Fantasy?
Yeah, I did.
for everything I've seen, and I feel like it is going to review well, is Mouse PI for Hire. I feel like Playside have done really well. And yeah, everything I've seen
literally
for
mine.
that game has been promising. So I'm happy to lock that in.
Okay. Didn't see that one coming. Oh, yeah, hang on. Sorry, I've forgotten. Yeah, Mouse PF. Yeah, I've forgotten that one. Yeah. Kind of black and white
Cupheady.
art style.
I'm excited for that
Cupheady,
game.
Yeah.
Very
First-person
excited.
shooter. Does look cool. Okay. James, your final pick.
Do it, James.
Sitting here in nervous silence.
I gave you the
Resident
gun.
Evil
I gave you the
9.
gunpowder. You do it.
What have we forgotten?
I'm going to go with... Nah, Resident Evil's not this year. There's no way.
Ooh.
You said you had a
Imagine
bunch
if it
of
is, and it scores 10s, you'll double win in life.
You said you had a bunch of unannounced ones. Were they all like the Nintendo
I
ones?
did.
that
I
are
think
already
Shannon
gone?
took all of them.
Right.
So, and then there's two that I'm like tossing up with, and one was like kind of passed to me quietly under the table before we started recording.
I've just looked on OpenCritic. The first game did an 84. So do with that as you may.
Points. It's good points.
But
Not
I
bad
feel like
points.
it's the same kind of situation as someone was before,
what's-
where like you've got the audience and those people gravitate.
That's right. It's the same as
towards it,
Civilization,
you know?
I think. Yeah. It's got its audience.
The Outer Worlds or Citizen Sleeper, is that?
Let's go Sleeper Citizen 2.
Citizen Sleeper too. Yeah. Get the name right if you're going to draft it, please.
Insider trading, I'm sensing. Is that what's happening?
Well, there is a rule. There's
Yeah,
a rule
that's-
where if you're in possession of code and you're playing the game currently, you can't draft it. And I said to James before, I said, geez, I really would have liked to be able to draft Citizen Sleeper 2. Not that I'm enjoying it and I can't render an opinion on it at this stage because the review is not up. But yeah, so I quietly passed him that one under the table.
Okay. I don't know if that's any better than just picking yourself.
I was under the impression it was a trade, but apparently not. I've been hoodwinked.
Yeah. Wow. We better start wheeling and dealing, Ewan.
Well, now I'm thinking, do I swoop
I think you
in
can
when Brody
trade.
didn't pick up?
I think you can trade games as well. I'm led to believe.
I think
There's
is
one
a
miss.
a
Actually, I'm not
situation
gonna
for
say
that,
anything.
yeah.
Oh, there's a big one missing, you reckon?
There is.
Yeah, I'm tossing up where to pick here. So far on my list, I've got Grand Theft Auto 6, Elden Ring Night Rain, Death Stranding 2 on the Beach, Pokemon Legends Z to A? Z to A? ZA?
You need a
Just
win,
Zar?
Ewan. You need a strong finish.
Yeah, you need a
Got a
solid
vowed.
one.
What I'm thinking here is maybe to take a bit of a punt and throw my eggs behind.
for something different.
Throw my eggs into the Souls-like basket.
Hell is us.
Stop.
Or do I go for an Aussie favourite that had a lot of critical success last time?
I think he might be talking about Big Walk.
Or do I use James'
Wo-Chang.
advice?
I didn't say anything. Nothing has been said
Wow,
publicly.
real insider trading.
I'd like to know what the I'd like to know what the big one is that's gone undrafted, but I don't know if it's what you're alluding to or not.
Well,
Yeah,
I don't know. I
I
can't.
know which
we're
one
not
James
talking
is
about.
referring to there.
Yeah. I'm surprised Borderlands 4 is still on the table.
Nah, that's...
Oh, I'm not. That's done. That's well and done.
That's washed.
Yeah, so washed.
That might be a good pick.
I'm gonna pick what's kind of on the table, I think, and take Kingdom Come Deliverance 2. That's
Very dynamic.
That's my final pick. Which brings us into the counter pick.
You'll know how
Oh.
you're faring very soon,
Okay,
Ewan.
let's just recap for those listening at home that don't have the video version in front of them.
Let's go through
what
our
everyone's picked. James, take us through your list.
Oh, I'm gonna have to zoom in because I didn't.
Yeah, I'm not paying any
Sorry.
attention to what I've just
No, I
picked.
have. You were doing it. So my first was Split Fiction. My second is Mario 3D platformer. Next, is what I'm calling it. Metroid Prime 4 Beyond, Claire Obscure Expedition 33, Assassin's Creed Shadows, and Citizen Sleeper 2 Starwood Vector. With a subtitle like that, you really can't lose.
You can't miss. That is a hot subtitle.
It is.
It's the Fires of Rubicon of this
Shannon,
year.
On your list?
Yes,
I know
very
about
happy with my list. I'd say Metroid's the only one I kind of wanted in there that didn't get in there. The rest I'm very confident in. Untitled next Mario Kart game, Doom the Dark Ages, Donkey Kong platforming, Hollow Knight Silksong, Mafia the Old Country, and Mouse PI for hire.
Nice varied list. And then Coffin Flop. Brody, what have you picked?
Yep, so my list is Monster Hunter Wilds, Ghost of Yotei, Metal Gear Solid Delta Snake Eater, Like a Dragon Pirate Yakuza in Hawaii, Sid Meier's Civilization 7, and Earthblade.
Then it comes time for counter picks.
You didn't read your team, did you?
I did earlier, but yeah,
Okay.
to repeat, it's Grand Theft Auto 6, Elden Ring Night Rain, Death Stranding 2, Pokemon Legends Zar, Avowed, and finally Kingdom Come Deliverance 2. And
Can we
then-
explain this again quickly? What is counterpick?
So
Count
you need to pick a game that's been drafted by somebody that you think either may not do too well,
Or flop,
may not
okay.
come out. Yeah, that might flop and not get the points. And look, it doesn't have to flop hard. Like if it gets to 72, you only lose 2 points. So basically, it works opposite to your other picks. Like you lose points rather than gain points. Unless it scores under 70, then you gain points. So I'd be
So you
leveraging
can
more
pick
against
any other team,
Yeah.
any other game and other teams picked, which is pretty tough at this point because I think
Yeah.
we've all picked a pretty good list of games.
You'd be angling it against something that someone hasn't maybe that someone's drafted that might not come out if you think. But yeah, even that's tricky. I'm first, aren't I? Okay.
Yeah. What are you picking?
I'm gonna pick only because does Shannon have
Is it
any
just
insider
one
trading?
game?
That's all I'm concerned about.
Always.
I'm gonna counter pick unannounced Donkey Kong platforming game,
I think it's a good pick.
just in case it doesn't come out, and that's all I'm banking on.
Yeah, I can't see it coming out. So, counter-picked.
Which means it's locked in on your list, Shannon. You cannot drop it.
Fuck.
The nervous laughter. Shannon, it's your turn to pick a counter-pick.
Hmm.
Do GTA 6, you coward.
Yeah, I'm waiting for someone to do it.
I'll hedge my bets and double down and attack James' list with the unannounced 3D Mario platformer. And I guess it's 50-50. One is coming out.
I wondered if anyone would be audacious enough to do that. Nicely done. James, it's your turn. What are you counter-picking? You're deep in thought. Look at you. More so than usual.
Is Hollow Knight coming this year?
I still don't get it, but I don't want to ask
Yeah,
again.
I feel like
so I'm
that,
just going
that
to
needed
pick.
to be explained
Yeah.
properly before we picked games.
Yeah,
but it's
yeah.
fine.
So I'm just going to go.
You've explained this I don't know how many times.
Nah, but
You
you
said
don't.
we could drop games
what-
at any time.
what parts
and now that's
confused you?
changing rapidly. But
It's all right.
fine.
Nah, it's fine. Just none of you become teachers. Is all I'm going to say.
I think you
I
can
have
only
a
drop
job.
one game.
So I'm just going to go. I'm going to pick Ewan and Ghost of Yotai.
That's me.
That's, yeah.
Yeah, well.
Because you don't think it's coming out this year? Or you
I don't
gonna
think it's
review
coming
well?
out. I don't think it's coming out this year. No.
Okay.
Which means I'm locked into it, which is kind of upsetting, but that's okay.
It's coming out.
Sorry.
All right.
Oh.
Oh, we've
Sony's
lost
spoken.
James.
Jim
He's
Ryan
Rage quitted out.
is here.
I'm coming after you, I think, James, here. I'm just tossing up if it's between Claire Obscure or Assassin's Creed Shadows.
What even is Claire Obscure?
It's that one that was announced at the Xbox
Obscure
thing
by
last
name,
year.
obscure by nature.
I feel like the gameplay could really just let that game down. But
Oh yeah, this is.
This is something.
Shannon's concerned.
It's giving. Real
Are you
4
trying to get in my
out of
head now,
10.
though? I'm
No.
confused. Yeah, I think it's gonna have to be that. I don't know. I could also go Mouse PI for hire just because that's a bit of an unknown. I don't know if anyone's got any hands-on time with that yet and like has praised it all that much. I'm also thinking like Metal Gear Solid Delta, like maybe, there's been a little bit of skepticism around that. Could that kind of not pan out the way people hope?
I feel like it's
I think the
previewed
skepticism
phenomenally.
has only been from me. Just
So,
to be fair. Like, it's fine.
maybe. I think I'm going to go Claire Obscure, Expedition 33. Which
Alright.
is annoying because I want that game to do well, but now I kind of don't want it to. That's it. That's the draft. Here we are. Okay, so bids. Oh, the next bids were revealed in 3 days, 15 hours. So that's when we'll find out. If
Yeah,
anyone
and so it
sneaks
says
in a bid.
the draft is complete. From here, you can make bids on games that were not drafted. However, you may want to hold on to your available budget until later in the year. But that said, if you don't think anyone's going to be like bidding right now, you could like bid $1 on some game that you really wanted that wasn't drafted, and you could jag it for like
Yeah, and pick
very
it up.
cheap. Yeah.
Yeah.
So the counter
Time to
pick
get
that I just
strategic.
made.
Yeah.
Do you only do counter picks to fuck someone else over? Is
No.
that the idea?
No,
necessarily.
no, it's
Okay.
about minimizing the points that you lose.
So
So
if-
you're
if-
really banking on Ghost of Yotai coming out.
Yeah, because if that
it
comes
does come
out and that gets in the 90s, then you're losing 20 points.
Yeah.
Right.
And then Mario's not coming out either, so you're just gonna have no opportunity to earn anything.
Well,
We also do
You
have
can't
to
be good at
counterpick
everything.
another-
Is all I'm gonna say.
Speaking of
We
games
also-
that James is good at,
We also do need to
Oh, yeah.
do another counter pick by.
This is exhausting.
by the end of the
why did we
year.
pick games if they're just all gonna be shat on? It just feels really.
Well, remember we could potentially add another 6 games to each of these lists, right?
That's right, so
more
you can
stuff will get
counterpick
announced
something
throughout
later.
The year. We'll get clearer on when release dates are happening. You can sneak it in, but we should keep an eye on what other people are doing and put in some counter picks. I reckon we kind of like check back in on this in like a few episodes time, see if it's changed at all.
See if
It can
anyone's
be a
made
bit of
any
a
bids.
reoccurring segment. Yeah, see if anyone's made any sneaky bids. Yeah. I'm excited for this. I've never done like fantasy football or anything.
I feel like
that,
you can tell the people that sort of prepared for this and those who didn't. Look at the projected scores. Like,
Yeah.
I haven't shown the projected score. Should we do that now and see how it plans out?
Hurry up.
Why is mine that bad?
I'd say because there's
Okay,
nothing.
you're all
see.
talking about it, so I'm going to show it. So the projected points. Who does it have? Oh, it has Brody in first place on 111. Myself in second on 102. James in third at 93 and Shannon at 78. I think Shannon's mostly concerned about the unannounced Donkey Kong platforming game.
I feel like we can assume that like any Mario Kart game that comes out is going to get better than 11 points. So I mean, it's not entirely accurate. So
yeah, that's true.
Either way, I'm keen. I'm excited.
I'm confident.
It's something to
We'll
do.
have to
Once Donkey
see.
Kong's coming out, I can't lose, really, is how I feel.
If you do want to follow along with our tournament as well, you can just search for it on fantasycritic.games and check it out there as well. But we'll be keeping tabs.
Can I
on the
change my
podcast
counter
too.
pick at any point?
I don't know if you
don't
can change your counter
think
pick.
so.
You can
I just
add
don't
another
understand.
One. James,
It's on brand
I'm
for
not
you.
gonna
I think just go to
apologise.
the end with it.
It's all right.
We'll clarify some rules throughout
We
the
all
week.
made-
there's
mistake.
such a good chance it gets delayed out of the year.
There is a good chance.
But then what do I get if it does?
You get 0 points, which is good.
You get 0 points. It's good.
That's what you want from a
but
counter.
if it doesn't
Chances
get
are,
delayed out
like-
of the year, what happens?
then you,
If
what
it gets reviewed, you're going to lose whatever points it gets above
say it gets
75.
85, you lose 15 points from your total.
Bro. Okay.
Alrighty. I think that's it. We will check in on this later in the year. I do have one more topic I was hoping to get to today, though, and that is some of the news that's come out about some PlayStation cancellations. Bloomberg's Jason Schreier reported in the week that Bluepoint Studios were working on a now cancelled live service God of War game, and Ben Studios was supposedly working on an unrevealed live service game that was also cancelled. Brody, what do you think? Right, Cole?
Well, it's hard to know without actually knowing exactly what the games were, but I mean, they've done it for a reason. There's a lot of bad will and a bad taste in people's mouths around their live service strategy. Like, we've heard of countless cancellations now. Like, you've add this to the, the Spider-Man one, The Last of Us now. Concord obviously did what it did. You'd be nervous, I guess, if you were like Marathon and Fair Game still coming out in this climate. But yeah, look, I feel like more than anything, it's a shame that I guess these teams were kind of put to task on these projects, which are now canned, and now it seems like their next thing will be even further away. So you have to wonder what actually... Because at the start of the year, I would have thought, Ben's studio will have something coming out in the next year or two. But that now looks likely to be not the case. So I do wonder...
I just ask quickly about
Please,
that.
yeah.
They're not all just working on like one project, surely, right? Like, I'm sure they had other things in the pipeline too.
Surely,
Like, I
but
don't think
it's still
necessarily, like,
Two
resources.
studios, specifically?
Yeah, like, I mean, you could really repurpose a lot of this work into something. Like, I don't think it's all like go back to zero, because I feel like a lot of people are talking about it like that, but I don't.
Yeah.
I feel like
right,
it is
surely.
for these games.
Especially ones that are
Yeah,
set
okay.
around like IP. Like,
Yeah.
It probably
Yeah.
like depends on the structure of the studio and how it operates. And I guess like, I don't know, maybe there's information about this out there, but they could have been kind of like prototyping two games in kind of tandem with one another, and then seeing kind of how it's shaking up before they ultimately make a decision.
imagine wanting
But-
to do a Days Gone 2, getting put onto like a live service game and then having that canned. Like, that'd be frustrating.
Yeah, I was pleased that Sony did come out and kind of just reassure people that there's no trouble afoot at these studios. Like, yes, the games that they are working on has changed, but there's no kind of more cause for concern about anyone getting shut down, which, we can't take for granted this day and age. That was pleasing to hear. There's been a bit of a visceral reaction to it online, but I do sort of feel that it's better to kind of get it on it early and kind of cancel a game. Like, there was talk about Bluepoint, doing some support work as well, kind of for 2 years into this kind of like since Demon Souls. So it's not total like 4 years of wastage, it's probably 2, but by calling it quits there rather than in another 2 years time, given 6-year development cycles are commonplace now, it does still mean we're going to get a game sooner from Bluepoint that is hopefully a better quality than what this live service game was meant to be.
It's seemed to me it's pretty bad. Like, 2 or 3 years into making a game, and then having to start back at zero. Like, you're talking like 5, 6, 7 years before you see anything else, unless they just go back to remaking or remastering games, which they'd done before really well.
I do feel if you came to me and said, we are pitching you a live service God of War game, I'd be like, how the hell is that going to work? That doesn't make any sense whatsoever.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah. James, where do you reckon the live service strategy goes from here? Like, do we see any more live service
that's enough
games
now.
from PlayStation?
We've had our fun. Time to go home. Like,
we've still got marathon and fair games, right?
Yeah, I would hate to work there right now on those games. Like, I feel like it's a lot of eyes on it, right? I just don't get, like, how at PlayStation during PS4, they just established themselves as this like really, I guess, high quality single player studio, and that was the thing that they were kind of came to be known for. And then all of a sudden, you want to fucking pivot to all this like junk. For PS5.
I can't. The only reason I kind of get it is because, like, I don't know what else you do with these IPs. Like, you can't just really keep churning out single player over the shoulder action adventure games. So, like, there was a time where this felt
think you
right.
can for like the big wider audience. Like, I think people don't, especially if they're not coming out every year. Like, I think it's fine.
I think
they're they're not games that like I'm fiending to play, but I think everyone will play the next one. Like, no questions asked. Although,
I think they were looking at the popularity of Fortnite, GTA Online, stuff like that, and going, maybe we should be making that kind of game, not just for the money side of things, but like, you know.
But those also didn't just sprout up, right? Like they all started somewhere. Like, I would argue GTA started as early, maybe was it GTA 4? Maybe, but I don't know. But GTA 5 in the 360 era, like that's when that started.
Yeah, and Fortnite started really rough, if you remember, as well. Like, it was a more battle royale mode that kind of came in.
Remember, like, Save the World?
Yeah,
I think that's to buy that. So it was all, it's And then, like, let's just say, like, in the perfect world, they were all successful. Then you're competing with each other for, like, all of these. You're competing with yourself. Like, I just don't see the benefit there.
I think they were probably scattershot, kind of hoping one of them was going to really land, and at the moment, like, they're one for two, right? Like, Helldivers 2 did a good job. I don't know if it's had the staying power that they maybe would have hoped.
I don't think any of these would have been free, right? So, like, they were gonna potentially, they would have thought they would have made money on them, otherwise they wouldn't have made them. So, like, Helldivers 2, like, even though it is, the player base is gone, like, they would have made more than enough money on that to consider it a success. Like, Spider-Man 2, like, whatever, the Into the Web or whatever the hell it was called. I don't think it would have been a 5-year plan, but it would have made money and then gone away, I think.
And if I'm not mistaken, Helldivers 2 was PlayStation's like fastest selling game ever, right? Like, that's a big deal, and I think kind of evidence that a live service game can bring in a larger amount of players than a kind of narrative focused single player game, which, you know, annoys me that that's the case. But, you know, there's that casual kind of gaming market that are looking for an experience that they can sort of play with friends, and PlayStation were looking to offer that. So I get the rationale for doing it, but it certainly doesn't play to their strengths. Where I kind of hope they go from here is just like trust Bungie to try and do something new with Marathon. And if that doesn't work, then okay, we've like tasked our studio that does this best, that kind of brought this concept to life with Destiny, and they've not been able to do it again. Let's just park this strategy for now.
You can see it both ways, right? Because, like, you can see, like, them not wanting to put a negative spin on God of War, Spider-Man, The Last of Us, and whatever else that's been canned. But then if they can't succeed, like, what hope does, like, a fair game or a Marathon have, I think? Yeah. Which is the worrying thing to see. But then there's nothing to lose, really, if they're, like, 80% of the way into production. I don't know. It's interesting.
Meaty topic to finish on after what's been a lengthy episode doing our Fantasy Critic draft, but I do have a rapid fire question for you before we close out, and it's simply, will you be buying a Switch 2 day one? We started the episode talking about the Nintendo Switch reveal. Shannon, I assume it's a yes from you.
Yes. I think it's going to be pricier than people think, but yes.
Yeah, that concerns me.
Maybe, depending on hardware, software, and hardware, I guess.
Yeah. I kind of hope it's going to be more readily available, but it is going to be launch game dependent for me as well. I don't think Mario Kart will be enough. James?
I yeah, it's not even a question for me. I think
who's
the
keen?
trade deal will make it. There'll be a trade deal of some sort.
How much do you think I'm going to get for my
juicier,
OG Switch?
Like
$85.
like $10.
If you're lucky.
No, I reckon. Well, let's predict this. Let's. How much will you get for his Switch? No, I reckon like what 180ish. I don't know. I have an OLED, so I yeah. But yeah.
I'm not going to
definitely
use
will.
my limited edition Zelda Joy-Cons anymore, though. If I trade it in.
Oh well.
You will.
You know.
Let
You
the
will be
past
able
die.
to.
You reckon?
I think
they'll, like,
wirelessly
connect
you'll be
wirelessly?
able to maybe. But yeah.
Yeah.
I think
okay.
yeah. If I didn't do like this job and it was just Mario Kart, like I'd probably wait. But yeah, because I don't really care about Mario Kart personally. But generally, yes, I think everything about it looks cool.
We need to
So-
see Mario Kart. Like, it might be really cool.
It's gonna have to be like a third-person shooter for me to be interested. Like I'm like if they get
Could
out of
do.
the carts and start shooting each other up.
Yeah.
Like yeah,
Like
You
Road
and
Rash.
Street.
yeah. No, not I don't. Yeah, I don't know. I just don't like racing games in general. So, but yeah, we'll see.
Okay, the sweat's starting to pool in my face. Let's keep the episode moving along and do what
It's
the
been
wiki,
pooling
the press.
in me for a
I'm
long
really
time.
glistening now. The Press
like
Start Podcast
bleeding
game show. We're playing What the Wiki, the Press Start Podcast game show, where the previous week's winner reads part of a Wikipedia page for an unknown game, and we, the contestants, must guess the game. A point is awarded for each correct guess, with a round concluding after one person's bagged themselves 2 points. You get a bonus point if you clean sweep 2. Brody was last week's winner and is in the hosting chair today. So Brody, when you are ready, take it away and read us the games.
Yeah, I've just realised I'm not on the right page here. But here we are. Okay. The developer conceived blank as a teenager and was able to realise the concept after being hired by blank in 1989. He initially targeted the Atari ST and then the Super NES CD-ROM, but restarted the development for the Atari Jaguar after the Super NES CD-ROM's cancellation. Said person incorporated several childhood memories into the design and was soon joined by a larger development team.
Ewan,
Yes,
taking an absolute punt. They've got no real idea here.
sure.
Is it Sonic the Hedgehog?
It's not Sonic the Hedgehog.
What?
I did have that thought as well. I can't think of anything else that would be...
Blank,
This is so not my era.
Blank made Blank a launch title for the PlayStation in North America and Europe to complete...
Shannon.
Shannon.
Ridge Racer.
No. To compete with Japanese platform games on the platform. The game was first released on the Atari Jaguar on September 1st, 1995, followed shortly by versions for the PlayStation, the Sega Saturn, and
James.
MS-DOS. James.
Is it like Pitfall?
It's not Pitfall. The
Okay.
game was met with a positive reception, with praise going towards its atmosphere, visuals, and soundtrack composed mainly by Remy Gazelle. Some reviewers warned that the game's aesthetic belied its high difficulty level and otherwise criticized its lack of interest and excitement. The game would go on to become one of the best-selling PlayStation games and would be the first entry in the series. The game is a side-scrolling platformer. The player controls Blank, who must navigate 6 thematic worlds. Each level hides 6 cages of captured Electoons.
Shannon. No,
Oh,
Shannon.
fuck.
I don't know.
Fuck.
what it is.
James, maybe.
Had Ewan queued up? I just want to make sure Ewan had
no.
queued up.
I want to guess.
Okay.
Well, yeah, that's how it works.
No,
So, recap.
Croc, Legend of the... It's not Croc.
It's
I don't know
not.
what the
It's
fuck
not
it
Croc.
is.
I
He
believe
collects
James.
gobos, not Electoons.
I know.
I believe James had queued up. James has jagged it.
Is it Rayman?
It is Rayman. Well done, Jums.
Thanks.
All right, where to go from here?
Electoons from.
He's in-
I didn't recap the scoring at the start. So,
Oh,
James,
yes.
you've earned a point there. You're now equal with me in second place. Brody's in the lead on 2 points.
Okay.
Shannon yet to get a point.
I'm
This is
very
only our
nervous that
second
James could clean sweep here.
It's only my
week.
first week.
Oh,
Settle
no.
down.
I'm very nervous. All these other games, very
He'd
James
move up
coded,
to
I feel,
first
in
place
other
already
ways.
if he does.
All right. It's just going to be about who can get the title out. All right. The game
I hate this.
is a 2001 kart racing game for the Game Boy Advance. It is the third...
James.
Oh,
Jesus, James.
Oh, no, wait.
I don't know what it was called.
Shannon.
Is it Mario Kart Super Circuit?
It is Mario Kart Super Circuit.
Brody, you really screwed us over there.
I feel like the
I
other
wasn't
games I
even
had were...
listening.
Well, why were you
Well, that's
listening?
not
the
our
game.
fucking problem.
God,
I wasn't even here, man.
literally. I may as well not have been.
So with that, James leapfrogs the entire competition.
James shouldn't be
and
allowed a
ends
clean
up-
sweep. That should be a rule.
He needs a 10-second penalty, I think.
I really hope
I read
the
Rayman for about
projected
2
points in
minutes.
Fantasy Critic are right. Determined to not let James win everything this season, but we'll see how we go. With that, let's bring an end to what was this week's episode of the Press Start podcast. Subscribe to us on Listener or the podcast service of your choice. Follow us at PressStartAU and visit the site at pressstart.com.au. We've been joined today by Shannon.
Yes, you can follow me at Shannon Grixty on everything, including TikTok. Not that we ever lost it, but it's there.
It's back, baby.
It is.
Long live TikTok. Joining us today and orchestrating the Fantasy Critic draft, it was Brody.
Yep, walking away with the highest projected. Let's see if it comes to fruition. You can follow me on most things at Brody_DG. God, I'm
But
sweating.
taking the points today in What the Wiki, it was James.
Yes, it was. You can find me on X at Jams, ATJMZ, and then just Google me if you want to find me somewhere else. I'll be there.
In compromised positions.
OnlyFans.
I've been your host, Ewan. You can follow me on socials at Ewan_Roxburgh. But until next week, happy gaming.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.